All right. Good morning, guys. We're back at it Thursday. We are past the hump. We are there. We are heading towards Friday, and today is VTIQ day, as far as I know. I believe VTIQ had their merger yesterday. Let's confirm here. Yeah, deal is done. The deal is done, so today will be very interesting. But let's take a look at the market as a whole to get the ball rolling here, and then we will slowly make our way into everything else. Good morning. How we doing here? Did you see the ACRX? Since I just woke up, it's 4:30. I have yet to look into anything, so I will be looking at it shortly, but I have not looked at it yet. Just want to make sure that LinkedIn is working today. It appears like it is. Hooray, we fixed it, guys. LinkedIn is now working. You can watch us on LinkedIn. Fantastic. Okay. So yeah, markets first, and then we'll head into all the fantastic news with ACRX and BTIQ and everything else. Um, IWM. Okay, so Russell's doing well, Dow's doing well, S&P's green. This is another green day in the morning. Industrials are leading the way. Energy's there. Energy must be on the Saudi-Russia agreement to continue to cut. Banks are doing well. Healthcare. Yo. Now, what I imagine this is with healthcare. Yeah, please link the article. That'd be fantastic. Um, the thing with healthcare is they came out yesterday with Operation Warp Speed's five drug candidates that Operation Warp Speed is going to be looking at. That doesn't mean that the other candidates are not working, and it doesn't mean that the labs across the states aren't still examining other potential vaccines, treatments, etc. It just means that Operation Warp Speed will be dedicating their assets to those five sources, but there's some big names left off that list. So names that have been pumped pretty hard. Novavax, Sanofi, GlaxoSmithKline, just some big names that have been attached to the race for the vaccine were essentially eliminated. Um, so healthcare being down is, I suppose, to be expected. Now let's take a look here. Interesting. Energy's up. Crude and Brent are down. Hmm. Markets are green across the world. Bitcoin was up a little bit. Very interesting. Okay. Let's head on over. I want to head over here, see if we had any updates. I'd like to see what VTIQ looks like. No analyst predictions. That can't be right. No analyst ratings on this. Morning, GXO. Yeah, Harry, if you have the article for ACX, shoot it over to me. Um, oh, that's fantastic news. Yeah, so this came in after market. So they get paid 1.8 million off of this just breaking up. They just get handed that liquidity. Like, here you go. Here's 1.8 million dollars for doing nothing. Oh, and we'll continue to sell your product for you. This is great news. This is great news. So, for those of you that are not familiar with ACRX, ACRX had a signed agreement with Tetraphase for a buyout. All of a sudden, about 2 weeks ago, Melinta, as well as a couple of other companies, started to pile in to try to get a piece of Tetraphase on news that Tetraphase might have a potential COVID play. They went back and forth, offer, counter offer, offer, counter offer, but the entire time the signed agreement with ACRX was still there. And in the event that Tetraphase backed out of that agreement, there was a breakup fee. Tetraphase will be the one responsible for paying that breakup fee. What's interesting is the deal that they take with Melento, and you take this 1.8 million um, off the breakdown of what that offer is, Melinta's offer is not superior to ACRX's. So I don't know that they factor that in or not, but throwing that 1.8 million at ACRX is a very interesting play. And I mean, it's great for ACRX that they get a little bit of extra cash. 2 million doesn't hurt anybody. An extra 2 million bucks, and they get to retain a sales partner. I like this move. This is great. Let's check and see. Oh yeah, in my mind, that's good news. Um, it was an interesting scenario where either way, it was good news. All right, let's head here. See what's in. Nothing popping out in acquisitions. No, I stay awake the entire time. So, I am awake from now till 7 doing market analysis, and then from 7 till 9:30. I'm doing coffee, getting my household up and going and ready. More so getting my wife up and ready and going so that she can get my household up and ready and going. And then I do the stock guys Discord morning call, and then we're in the market. I'm in the market all day. And then by that time it's 5 o'clock, and I am back at it with my family until I go to sleep. Uh, it's honestly not that bad once you get used to it. Once you get used to being up at 4:30, well, I guess now it's 4:15. I do have to get up 15 minutes earlier, but it doesn't really matter. You get used to it. You actually get a lot more accomplished in the day, so it's not a huge deal for me. Okay, so NDA partner success. Roche continues to make money. It drives me nuts that Roche is a pink sheet. I wish they had a listing. What time do you normally sleep? 10:30. I mean, it's not bad. 10:30 to 4:15. It's like 6 hours of sleep. Well, this is interesting. Okay, let's go clear this, clear this. This is what we just looked at, I think. Yeah, I mean, I just have more hours to get things done, right? People look at me like I'm nuts, or it's like, oh, your workday's like 14 hours long. That's impossible. It's like, well, not really. You wake up at 4, you go until 6, you do your coffee time throughout that, stop for lunch, stop for coffee. It's not so bad. So what I'm doing here, guys, again, is I'm just using Feeder. I'm going through the notifications I've set up on certain search parameters. Thankfully, today is the day. Edit feed. I can get rid of tetraphase from this list. Bye. Glad to see you go. You don't matter anymore. What I think would be really interesting though is where ACRX doesn't resubmit, um, but the board at Tetraphase still opts to take the ACRX still. This is a big deal. Let's take a look at some upgrades here. All right, let's look at what we got here. Future molecular. Let's see what TipRanks has to say, guys. If you aren't using TipRanks yet, I do really love the tool. I love what it does. I love. Let's do this. So you guys can check that out. Uh, but TipRanks as a whole as a site, guys, I'm really enjoying what it is and what it does. So just as a snapshot, right? I pull up a stock, I get immediate understanding of where the analysts see this thing. And now you have to do your own due diligence, though, okay? So analysts aren't everything, but having an understanding of what other people have done as far as their homework, what they see, giving you some ballpark ranges on where this thing might go. I always am going to think that it's of your value to understand that. So you go to the stock analysis page, you can see a great breakdown of blogger opinions, analyst ratings, news sentiment. So this is always good to see of like, oh, that moderate buy, bullish, very bullish. Okay, cool. I trade on news, so news sentiment is important to me. Let's go to the analyst desk. So they've got a price target of 12 months at 250 with MBRX. With pediatric cancer, I think that um, this has room to do more than this, but we'll see. It's great to see a couple of analysts that have performed quite well. 7 days ago, Kevin gave it a price target of $2, with MBRX currently being at $1. That's still 100%, right? People are like, oh, only $2. That's not worth it. It's 100%. For what I've seen, as far as what the tool does, I'm really really impressed so far. I'm really impressed. So this is the $30 a month, and it gives me access to all of these analysts, their names, what positions they're in. I can open this up and I can follow this. As you'll see, I'm following it. So every time a new analyst drops in an upgrade or a downgrade, I get that. I'm a pretty huge fan of the tool so far. I still have to play around with it quite a bit more, but yeah, it's kind of a great one-stop shop for just about every piece of information you would hope to get off of it. Um, yeah, great place to get new ideas as well. Anyway, like the tool. My portfolio, I'm going to try to keep it updated on there and keep it public so you guys can see where I am and what I'm doing. Per the May 19th PR, the focus on Burlausin is as a therapeutic, not as a vaccine. That's true. FDA struggles to remain independent amid race for the virus cure. Ooh, this is a very different story here. Peter Marks was a natural fit. So Peter Marks holds a position of authority at the FDA, was considered to be a member of Operation Warp Speed. Him and Dr. Burks got into it about how they were choosing which candidates, which we all knew that there was some political and financial leaning in how they picked their viable candidates. But he said that he realized that being at the FDA and being able to just veto bad science was a better place to be than trying to be a part of this shell at uh, the White House. The White House had said that they had enough other experts to do the job; they didn't need him. But this comment here is pretty telling. That was nonsense. He actually quit in disgust. Yikes. So, because Stephen Hahn came in just before this all went down, people are saying that he's just not strong enough to stand up to Trump or anybody on the fact that the FDA will not make approvals that are dangerous. So far, Hahn has not put his foot down on any issue. I mean, this is a bit of an issue. This that he was a part that until recently he was part of the Moderna board, and now guess what? Oh, Germany's pumping Lufthansa. Like this is a big deal. This article. This is a big deal. Not just for people trading bio. This is a big deal for where we're going with approvals. The regulations that have cut back here have simply allowed everybody to. So essentially, this guy saw what the FDA was doing, or saw what Operation Warp Speed was about, called it out, got into a fight with the people that are already on the team, said, "Screw this! I'm out of here. This is not going to work. I'm going to go back to the FDA, where as you guys send these drugs for approval, if they're not safe, at least there I can have the ability to use science to kibosh them because what's happening here isn't okay." And that's why he went back. Very interesting. So this is kind of cool news from an unexpected place. So Fitbit, wearable tech, right? Jogging, whatnot. Fitbit has built a ventilator. Very interesting. They're up pretty market. Awesome. This is just awesome. Awesome. I always get a little teary eyed when I see the cops doing that. And this is it. Like remdesivir is one of the ones that we rushed out to market to say, okay, yeah, 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 this is the one, this is the one. Go, 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 go. Oh wait, it doesn't really work. Oh wait, it doesn't really work at all. Oh wait, it's actually really dangerous for you to give to a lot of people. Oh wait, now it can't even be used for people that are. Originally, it was, oh well, you could use it for people that are extremely severe. No, wait, that's not working. Oh well, now you can use it for moderately ill COVID patients. And I imagine it's 2 more weeks till we realize that that doesn't work. How is Gilead doing these days? Uh, I think this is closer to not. Two upgrades though. That's on the news of Operation Warp Speed embracing what Gilead's doing. Yeah, ACRX. That's that news we already knew about. Mojo Biosciences. Hmm, not publicly traded. just throw this in here so it's here. Okay, so unfortunately that is not available. Let's check this out. Mhm. So Scion Asset Management, guys, if you don't know, is Michael Burry's fund. Scion Asset Management took an interest in GameStop back in January. Saw the cash on hand for GameStop, saw its current valuation, saw a separation between the two, and saw a possibility. Michael Burry's flag on the stock is what had me actually stop in and do my due diligence. His analysis was very much about they've got a ton of cash on hand and a ton of assets, and the company was undervalued. So that's kind of a typical Burry play of finding something that's undervalued. Oh, nice hair. See? Pays again to be part of IB. You get a prime broker, there are definitely benefits, right? Um, so this thing is distracting. Oh, this video pop-up thing down here. Um, yeah, so Burry likes to swoop in on low value stocks and then or stocks that shouldn't be as low as they are, I should say, and make a play. I'm making a play actually on the historical Q2 that we had in the video game sector, paired with GameStop's 1,500% increase on online sales. I think next week, as we head into earnings, GameStop is looking particularly strong for that. And what amazes me is if you go to, let's do this. I got a price target of 8, by the way, so I am beyond even the high on this. Um, but earnings, their consensus EPS on earnings is down 73 cents. Um, let's take a look at what they did last earnings, and for this, let's go over to Seeking Alpha. Okay, so last earnings, they reported March 26th. This is for Q1. Yeah, so this is the last quarter. This is Q1. So this isn't even the historical record for the video game market. This is just Q1. Buck 27 EPS actual. Okay. Um, no duh, it was a surprise of 48 cents. Um, their revenue 2.19 billion. Okay. So this wasn't even the highlight. This wasn't the oh, look at the boom that we're getting from COVID and everybody being home and playing video games. Um, on the 6th, they're going to announce their Q2 results, and their estimate is down 73 cents. What do you think? Hmm? Let's say in the greatest sales period of all time for video games, GameStop performs just as well as they did the previous quarter. Okay, but forget saying that they do better than this. But let's say that they do the same. Okay, if they do the same, then this is a beat of almost $2. surprise beat of almost $2. Let's say their revenue, so revenue was 2.19 billion in Q1. Let's say their revenue is the same. They will have beat by $1 billion. That's if it stays the same. That's not if it increases. That's stays the same. They've only had downward revisions against their stores. I think that this is gonna be a blowout. I think they are gonna absolutely crush their earnings. Absolutely crush it. Next week, June 9th, after hours. Unreal. Oh well. Anyways, all that to say that another big issue that's about to come up is they have a vote on the future of the board at GameStop. Okay, so the board currently exists of a group of people that have been managing GameStop through its decline, um, and there's a suggestion from a large stakeholder, Hestia Capital, that two members of the board be replaced with newer members that have more insight as to where they want to go in the future. So the current debate, if you're a holder of GameStop, is white card or blue card, right? Like, which way are you going to vote? Are you going to vote for old board members to stay, new board members to come in? And there's been a lot of back and forth. There were two independent proxy vote analysis, and the conclusion in both was to remove the two existing board members. Scion comes in and says he likes the current board. I don't know, this guy just likes to kick the hornet's nest or what, but Burry is doing some very, very interesting things, and this is very interesting as a record. He does not like the blue card. Does not like it. What's your opinion on gold? So I don't often trade the commodities market, but let's take a look at how GLD is doing. Mm. So here's the thing: people have been shoring up at gold as they become uncertain about the economy, and that's a fairly typical play where you see that. So if we look at gold, come on, futures. What is it? GL? What is it? AG? What is the gold future? GC. Okay. Let's take a look at gold futures. Okay, and let's do it over 5 years. Holy cow. Let's do it over 10 years. Holy cow. Let's do it over 20 years. Okay. No, let's go back to 10 years. Okay. So, when we go through times of trial, gold tends to gain. So, three trials that we've had lately are 2008, we had the housing bubble in the US crash. 2011, 2012 were when things kind of got back to normal. Um, so, what you'll see here is we had a recession, right? And what happened during the recession? Gold, we had that housing bubble pop, and gold took off to the moon. Okay. And then as the economy settled and the dust settled and things got better again, gold started to decline. Now, gold does this because people that were using it as a safe haven for their cash start to move their cash back into the market. Now, that was all well and good. Let's go 1 year out. Okay, so we're kind of sideways here. I mean, we're up a little bit into January, right? But it's essentially steady. That's a fairly steady line into 2020, right? Around that 1500 mark. But what happened was COVID hits, COVID hits, and the value of gold starts to make its way back up. And this is the direction we're going in here. Like gold is making just this monumental run for it. It's gonna go right back up to the levels it was at in the 2008 crisis, which we're almost touching. And in my opinion, I think it's going to start to plateau in the event that we see the economic reopening work. We see jobless numbers go back down. We see the election start to progress, and we understand what that looks like for the market. Oh, excuse me. Early start to the day. Yeah, so for me, what I see coming down the road is I see this doing the same thing. Currently, we're at this point repeating, right? This is where we are right now. Is this kind of incline back up? Now, what I think is we're going to see a bit of a sideways action for probably a year, somewhere within this channel, where it's going to bounce within this channel. And depending on the results of the election, the results of a resurgence in COVID, I think that you could see a potential gain where it comes up again. Or in the event that everything goes well, we could see it decline. Um, One thing I can say for certain is the market is moving a lot faster than it was back here. And I know that we're not that far away. It's only been a decade, but the market is moving extremely quickly. So these moves that took an extended period of time of over a year, year and a half, could probably happen now in 6 months. So you could see this quick movement of up and down over 6 months and then phew, back to where we were if things are good. That's my thoughts on gold. Okay, Biomarn Farms. No, thank you. I just want to read about this. So Biomarin gets an upgrade. Two stocks to tuck away. Claris and Immutep. Yeah. So Immutep is one that I am involved in. This is one that I do have a holding in. So I like to give that disclosure to you guys. I do have a holding in it, so obviously that comes with an inherent bias. Um, so this is saying that it's somewhere in the 350 range. This is saying that investment analysts at B. Riley published a research note on the 28th. 29th, 28th of 2018. Currently, there's only two analysts on this. One says five, one says two. I see Immutep probably around the six range myself, so I'm a little bit higher than where these guys are, but that's over 12 months, so we'll see. But irregardless, for a stock that currently is at where are we? Buck 11. For it to have even the growth to, what was the average? 350, 350. So just to have that average of 350, that you can see that there's a 300% increase possibility on it. So I like this one. This one I'm comfortable having a fairly sizable position in. Okay, so that's that. That's all of our. Just want to make sure I didn't miss anything. MFA Financial, Form 8K. 8K filing from MFA. When you guys see an 8K, it's because they've got something that they want to tell the market. This is an extended forbearance agreement, which is good. So I mean, this is essentially a good deal. This pushes MFA's hit from COVID further out, allowing them more time to recover. This is bad news for Tiffany's today. Yeah, this is gonna hurt Tiffany's pre-market. That they didn't get the Louis Vuitton deal is gonna hurt. Not down a ton yet, but they are down. Let's go and close this. Let's go here. Close this. What else we got? More AstraZeneca news. These guys are just a beast lately. All right, Zoom Info Technologies has priced its IPO. Starts trading today on ZI. It's kind of a nothing for me. Protest see Walmart remove guns from the sales floor. Good. Yikes. They've already had stores looted that had firearms. That's what this announcement is. Bears Dacomba sales blocked by U.S. appeals court. So Bayer did acquire Monsanto. For those of you that are unaware, Monsanto used to be the big beast in GMO, herbicides, pesticides. They took a lot of flack from the world. They kind of have gone quiet under the cover of Bayer. But Bayer dropped a herbicide here, rushed it through regulatory approval, and as a result, this U.S. appeals court is saying absolutely not. We are not going to have you poisoning people. The downside to this is the farmers who are already being hit hard by this. They will not be able to plant the crops that were dependent upon this herbicide. So they'll have to swallow the cost of that seed, and that is expensive because it's not just the seed; it's the crops that come with it. Right? That's very unfortunate. I think Bayer can expect some lawsuits very shortly. Um, okay, Uber CEO says ride business is improving, still down. Still down 70% year over year. Trip requests are gradually picking up but remain far below last year's levels. So they're saying Hong Kong's recovering well as far as Uber goes, but trip requests overall are down 70% from a year ago, 80% in April. That reminds me, how was Waiter doing? That's great. If I could get this back at $2, if this could come down to $2 for me. Um, when's their next earnings slated? They don't have a specific date, right? August. So for those of you guys who are newer to the stream, Waiter was a play that I looked at, entered probably around here in March when it was up around $1. Waiter is a food service delivery with a market share that's relatively small. We're talking 1-2% in the US, maybe even less. But what they did was they got a bunch of expansions in a whole bunch of new states very quickly. They've got great backing. They've got I mean, there was a lot of stuff that I really liked about this thing. So we actually wrote it up on this spike and made some great gains on it. I've been waiting for it to come back down to around that $2 range. It has declined nicely. Um, good morning. Good. That umla. Good morning. Brad is on fire. Um, yeah, it's coming down nicely to around that $2 range. I think that there's a little more time for me to let this simmer off, a little bit of the heat, come down to two. And if it comes close to that two range, I may potentially look at changing the direction that I'm going in as far as where my positions stand right now. I think I would be willing to exit GameStop after GameStop earnings. Give GameStop earnings a couple days, exit, move those funds into Waiter, take Waiter into August, and then exit after earnings on Waiter into Q4. Hmm. Interesting. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Definitely have to keep that in mind. AstraZeneca has just turned into this absolutely massive beast. FedEx had to do this. I'm glad that they've started to do this. Okay, that's that. Let's head on over to social and see what is happening elsewhere in the world. I'm going to top up my water, guys. I will be back in 60 seconds or less. If you guys have stuff that you want me to take a look at, throw it in the chat right now, wherever you may be watching. All right. So let's see what is going on around the world. 3 billion is trending. Why is 3 billion trending? So the mayor of LA is cutting 150 million from the LAPD budget. But what people are saying is if you take a look at the city's budget, it leaves a little bit to be desired still. Leaves a little bit to be desired. Yeah, I'm definitely going to put Waiter back on my watch list. But again, guys, so a lot of people get confused when they're watching the analysis that I'm doing here, and more so what I'm looking to do is draw attention to how you should be doing your analysis in the morning's pre-market, not necessarily the plays that I'm taking, but you should be looking at this process and doing it yourself, which is why I start at 4:30 in the morning and I go to 7 to give you guys time from 7 to 9:30 to do your own due diligence and break down and figure out what plays you are going to take. The biosector long equity is what I play. So 6 to 18 months in the biosector is traditionally what I'm looking at. Now, there are some outliers, of course, GameStop, Waiter being two of them in my portfolio that are not bio plays. MFA as well is another one that's not a bio play that I do have a position in. So full disclosure on that. But typically I trade on long equity. So what I'm looking at when I look at stocks is not the price movement today or tomorrow or a week from now or a month from now. I'm looking at a quarter or two down the road. I'm looking at a year down the road. So please keep that in mind with the analysis where people, there have been people that have come in and gone, well, look, it didn't do what it was supposed to do. DMPI is the most recent example of that. I think I can show that here. So DMPI, let's go back. How do I change the time scale on this? There. Let's go back 3 months. Okay, so start of May is when I took the position, knowing that the ASCO was coming up and DMPI was presenting. Um, from this time frame here, yeah, about there. So this time frame here, I got a lot of people DMing me, asking me questions. Why isn't it moving? He said it was going to move, and yeah, it kind of moved. It went from 50 cents to 70 cents, but like it didn't have the movement people really expected from it. And so it was a reassurance of this play has a timeline on it. You have to be aware of the timeline. And then the ASCO happened, and it went up to a dollar from 50 cents to a dollar in a month. And so the reality is timing is a huge deal in your, especially if you're going to do FA analysis as opposed to technicals on the charts. You're not trading every tick, every day, every movement, every different pattern the candles make. What you're doing is you're trading the news of the business. How does the business operate? What's coming down the pipeline? And you yourself, that's a huge thing you have to understand, because you can be right about a stock but wrong about the timing, and you're still wrong. You have to understand that timing is a huge part of this process when you're doing analysis on what you want to trade. So make sure, guys, that when you set your price points, you're setting your price points. Um, but you're also setting a timeline. Okay, when do I feasibly see it hitting this? Um, okay, let's check out Bloomberg Economics, see what they've got for today. Okay, so this is good news out of Europe. Spelled the spelling wrong. That's weird. Dissipating. This is a big deal for the REITs. Okay, this is going to be a big deal. I'm interested as to how these Asian. Hmm, hmm. I'm interested in how these malls are going to recover. With retail being so battered down, people not wanting to congregate in in the same places. I'm just wondering how that's going to affect us by and large. Uh, so the Square, there's a day of remembrance in China for Tiananmen Square. This is the first time it's been canceled. Um, every year, Hong Kong holds a vigil to remember. This year, they weren't able to do it. Hong Kong has made it illegal to disrespect China's anthem in any way. See, this is great. This is not a problem. This is just people standing, making sure their properties, their community doesn't get destroyed, and these people marching by, nothing happens. This is absolutely okay. I prefer that they were marching with the protests, but I don't know how I feel about this. Oh, they're saying I thought they were saying they were going to release it on Blackout Tuesday in solidarity with Black Lives Matter. They postponed their album. That's great. That's great. More protests, more protests. London's Hyde Park. Yeah, so globally we're seeing, yeah, man, Tiananmen. Globally we're seeing protests coming alongside. I do like those quick those quick things from Bloomberg. Uh, Walmart's all on board. Louis Vuitton doesn't want a piece of Tiffany. China's buying faster than expected. Biden was for this. Biden is okay. So just to be clear, before we get into this nonsense with Schumer smiling like an idiot, Biden is for the repeal of this of the very same Section 230. Biden was publicly opposed to Section 230 because it does not clarify in detail how we are going to define social media's responsibility for the content on it moving ahead. There's no clarity in it. This is a bill that oversees all social media networks everywhere on the internet, and it's 2 pages long at most. I would say 1 page, but with the internet, that's up to you. It could be one very long page, but no. It needs to be clarified, and that's all the executive order has done. Is said it's not Trump saying I'm going to tell these companies what's right and wrong. All he did was pass it along to the FTC and to the communications and say, you guys come to some understanding, but this needs to be clarified. What are they? Are social media platforms journalists now that they need to have an editorial department? They have to prove and verify everything, or are they just water coolers? Are they giant pin boards and people put whatever they want up? And where does the legalities as far as them being editors go in either instance? That needs to be clarified. I mean, that Schumer's grinning like an idiot here. Like, this is a good thing that somebody's taking a dump on Trump. Like, okay, I get it. But at the same time, your own party has called for this. Your current presidential candidate has called for that. So, I mean, if anything, I think that makes you look like you're a little bit clueless as to what's going on. This is interesting. Okay. Taser companies. Axon. AAXN. Ooh, I think I found a play. I think I found a play. I think I found a play. That's exciting. Okay, so let's add that to the watch list. We can take macrogenics off. Edit. Macrogenics can come off. MEH can come off, and let's put on DGLY. Okay, so just to give you my train of thought here, guys. So we started here, right? So we started here. Um, this came out. Consumers are interested in buying tasers during nationwide social unrest. Taser maker CEO says. So there's an uptick in sales on tasers as a result of the protests. That's not overly shocking. We do typically see weapon sales go up, but also from the other side, the law enforcement are looking for non-lethal methods of uh, managing rioters, not protesters, but rioters. So as a result, you got people buying on both sides of the coin. The next step that I take from there is I go, okay, who makes tasers, right? So you type in taser. Oh, look, Axon pops up right away. Now, taser is a brand name for the shotgun, right? It's an electroshock weapon. Taser is just the brand name. It's like saying, well, tissues are what you use to wipe your nose, but we all call them Kleenex. Kleenex is just a brand name. So AAXN, it's not overperforming right now. It doesn't look great. For me, it's not a play because I play equity, right? So the next step that I do is I look around for someone else who also makes tasers, and this popped up in the feed of meet the company trying to break the taser monopoly. Now this is 2018, so this is a few years back, but this is still a company that works in law enforcement. Digital Ally works on police body and dashboard cameras, which is extremely important right now. On top of that, they've secured a patent for a new electrical weapon that doesn't have wires. So not only do they make tasers, they also make body cameras and dashboard cameras. So we look that up. Digital Ally, okay, well, $1.68, they're up a little bit. Hmm. Hmm. I think I see some potential here. I think I see some potential. So we go over here. Let's put in Digital Ally, DGLY. Let's see what they've done. Okay, no price targets on it. But look at that spike. Look at that spike. This is over a 1 year period. Let's go to 3 years. So this was at one point up to $5. So I'm gonna say over the next 6 months we could see a price target of around three on this. When's its next earnings? Earnings are on August 12th. How did it do on its last earnings? Hmm. But again, there were no riots or protests or any of that happening. Now there is. Yeah, it's already up another 5% today. It's AXN or Taser? AAXN. Yeah, Drew Brees doesn't agree with people disrespecting the flag. I mean, this has to be part of it as well. This has to be part of it as well. Uh, for you not to kneel is also exercising your freedom of speech, and people can't just rally on this guy and dump on him. Is he part of the Black Lives Matter movement? Probably not. Does he support the members of his team that are a part of that movement? For sure. Anybody that knows Drew Brees knows that the guy is salt of the earth. Like, he's a good dude. This is not malicious. Okay. Biden has pledged to pick a woman as his running mate. At the moment, it seems right to choose a black woman. Racial tension flaring. Wow. If he pi- if he picks Elizabeth Warren as his running mate, this is done. We don't even need to hold it. Like, yikes. Well, it appears as though Kramer and I are on two different sides of the coin. He likes VTIQ. I think they're okay. So Kramer said that he liked it. Uh, he think it will go up, but he wants people to do their due diligence on it, and VTIQ is losing their mind now. My thoughts are people are in for a real shocking wake up call as Nicola announces their. I should add a search for that, Nicola. I'm gonna add this to feeder. I suspect we get an offering, a share offering announced at some point today on Nicola. So for you guys, the TVIQ that we did when I did my analysis a few days back on TVIQ, that analysis was done on the basis of it moving up into this merger with Nicola. The symbol will now be Nicola, NKLA, instead of TVIQ. As it happens, I want the news, everything. English is fine. US. All results, RSS. Subscribe. This way I can get the news of the offering and watch what the effect it has on. But I do suspect that Nikla, NKLA, are they listed? When does it switch over? Okay, so Nikla is today at some point. I just want to get some news on this so that I'm clear on. Okay, Nikla to begin trading. Does VTIQ still show up? Okay, so they're still here. So does it have to wait for? Does it have to wait for the market to open in order to change its ticker? So yesterday it opened at 33.40, finished at 33.80. So it had a little increase there. I'm just interested to see. There's VTIQ. It's up 8%. Okay, so it's still not there. Yeah, this guy has an excellent point. So the infrastructure was my big issue with VTIQ. It's great. So you're going to build these trucks from Germany, ship them over here. Nobody knows how to fix these things. There's no infrastructure set up to for these fuel cell trucks to operate. Um, I think I'll wait for Nikola to change its name, and then one of the things I said I was going to start doing was actually getting more active on Seeking Alpha and actually writing in my analysis and putting that in. So I had a date on it, and it was clear that I'd done due diligence. Um, link the videos. Um, Interesting. All right, let's go back over here. Bloomberg Markets. This is the death of a giant. Good morning, Tim. How you doing, buddy? Um, India just can't get a break from typhoons and locust swarms to COVID to economy crashing to oil being down. Just everything about India just takes hit after hit after hit. Okay, I had heard that Russia had agreed to further cuts, but what I'm seeing here is there's something about a feud. Okay, so Saudis will price their oil as of this weekend. So we'll know more about where that's headed into next week. Um, what else are we watching today? Let's see. There's nothing really popping crazy pre-market. Not like yesterday we had huge skyrocket yesterday. I imagine it fell from grace as well by the end of the day with the announcement as to what will actually be doing something. So yeah, it's down 12% uh, pre-market. So let's go here, huge. This last hour here, guys, as always, if you guys have anything that you want me to take a look at, questions, thoughts, um, tickers, just throw it out there. I'm more than happy to pop in, take a look, and see what we're looking at. I want the charts on this. So this is yesterday. So it went from $3 to $10 at a 300% increase. And then throughout the day, back down to 7. I expect that we see this thing fall again today. If they don't come out, it's already at 650 pre-market, so it's already fallen another 89 cents. I think that we see this thing come back down to about $5. Let's look at it on a year. Yeah, I'd say the $5 range. somewhere around there. Uh-oh, Martini's awake. Good morning, Martini. You got a question? What's the question? No, I can't sing happy birthday, Mr. President. Um, that would be off brand for the stream. Saturday afternoon, guys. Probably not this one because my father-in-law's birthday party is this Saturday, but Saturday afternoons, just to lighten things up a little bit, I have been doing Twitch Sings karaoke just to kind of lighten it up. But everything else, it's serious, it's business, it's stocks. That's what we're looking at. So, um, yeah, no martini, but good morning. Um, it's VTIQ day, ladies and gentlemen. It's VTIQ day. This is a day that we have long been waiting for. Okay. Um, I do like this play. This will be a play that I watch moving forward. Um, so we had Jim Cramer weigh in today on VTIQ. He says he likes it. He says that he likes VTIQ and he sees it going up, but he wants people to actually read up on it because there are obvious risks. The obvious risks that I see is I'm just waiting anxiously for the foot to drop and for them to drop a market offering. Obviously, they want to see if they can milk the pre market a little bit here. Um, yeah, it's not showing up yet. Let's check the PDUFA calendar, see if there's anything going on there. Fourth, Merck has a potential approval today. It's under priority review. I think we see it go through. Good morning, Red. How you doing? How far back does performance go in? I don't know. We can pull up an expert. Let's pull up. Let's go ACRX. Oops, ACRX. Let's check out. We want a 5-star analyst, so let's check out Wainwright. Um, 2 years is the furthest back that it can go compared to S&P. So this year he's up versus the S&P. Last year he was, when you take into account the last 2 years, it's down. Um, he does a lot of ratings. Damn. But yeah, it looks like 2 years at the is as far back as it goes, Rita. Um, So Kramer did the thing that, well, I mean, what happened to Kramer is what happens. Does it at least show open positions? I think they do have. I'm not sure about the guys who have funds, but I think I can see because I have a like I've got a public profile. So I think there are other public profiles out there. I'm just not sure how to um so there's some open profiles here. So I can actually go in and see open profiles of folks in here. But as far as the analysts from the funds, I don't think so. Top experts, top 25 Wall Street analysts. This is just his analysis. This doesn't break down what's in his portfolio. Um, Whereas the individual investors, I believe if I were to go in here, yeah, in here I can actually see portfolio details on these guys. So the individual investors on tip ranks, yes, you can see what their holdings are. Um, oh, why is nobody talking about this? SpaceX launched Starlink satellites yesterday. I didn't even hear about this. So does this make for another nutty day out in the world of space? Do you see Tesla in space move like maniacs this morning? Tesla? It's down pre-market. Space? Yeah, I think Martini is just going to gauge your performance over the last 2 years. So you could have a portfolio that's held longer than that, but it's going to gauge its performance on the annual. So wherever you got into it, it'll keep track of that. If you're never exiting, it'll just add that into the portfolio. Um, hmm, this is down too. Interesting. Very, very interesting. All right, what else are we watching, guys? What else looks good right now? What are we taking a look at? Genus is up again. This is the animation company that we were breaking down. I guess not on stream. We were breaking this down in Discord yesterday, right before I left. Um, I like these guys. I like what they're doing. I like them around the 950 mark. VTIQ's up. Spirit Airlines is up. They've had a decent week. up from 11 to 14. MGM is one we were expecting movement on. That growth looks way too parabolic. Yeah. But I mean, I guess what drives me nuts with Genus is this, right? Like, what was it that made people wake up? Uh, what made people wake up on 5/22? Like March or May 22nd. Genus news. May 27th, 25th. It got a buy. It got a buy rating. Is that it? Okay. I mean, if people are underwhelmed by whatever this stands as much risk as it does reward. If it's news of a buyout from Prime, Disney Plus, or Netflix, then yeah, this could go to $20. If it's a disappointing development of we acquired new programming, yeah, I just $8 9 I don't have a problem with. I don't have a problem where it is right now. I do have a problem with how quickly it got here. I would have had this pegged at $8 9 over a 12-month period, not over a 2 week period. So when you see massive growth like this, it either needs to deliver on whatever is driving that, or it needs to deflate itself. So we'll see about Genius Brands and what it's doing. Let's head to SPXS. This is a 3x leverage. Yikes. It's a SP 500 bear. I think what people are saying is, okay, well, we've had a green Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I think we're overdue for a red day. Let's take a look at the bear. Let's take a look at the three X bear. Um, I don't know that that's a great idea. I don't know that that's a great idea. Um, this guy's trending. Well, that's intense. Who carries around a giant sword in their car? Yikes. Oh, early morning. Trump must be having his morning coffee because we're getting tweets. We're getting tweets early. Seriously, like, yowza. This is truth. China is not concerned about their emissions, not even a little bit. Things are bad, but not looking like the depression. That's good news. So this is October 1929 to October 1932 that we're looking at on this chart here. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger so hopefully you guys can see that a little bit more clearly. So unemployment rate, this is where they were, where we are. You can see that unemployment is not nearly as bad as it was. Oh wait, no, this is a spike to the upside. This is unemployment. So we're actually worse off than we were for unemployment than in the Great Depression. Not at its peak, but definitely at its current rate, we are worse off. Um, Price index has shown less of a decline. Deficit to GDP. Interest rates spiked. Ours have not. So something of note here, though, guys, is look at this. There is a bounce back here, and this is what a lot of people have been cautioning about with the resurgence in the market. Is the recession had an uptick, like it started to go down, and then we had an uptick, and then we saw the declines. And there's a lot of concern that this section here is what we're about to come into. That this bounce back up to this line is actually going to be a dead cat bounce, and we're going to see the you fall into the abyss. Trump again? I mean, some of these protesters get it of like you can't be attacking it. Unemployment isn't predictive of recessions. No, it's not. Uh, he's not defending the media. He's just showing that, and I don't know that this clip does that any justice. He's just saying that like there are protesters out there that are just attacking people and causing fear, same way he is. This is the standard like let's promote fear thing. Um, but it's good to see that there are members of the protest. Like these are protesters as well. This could just as easily read NBC News crew was protected by protesters while filming at the White House. So I mean, yeah, you're what's up, buddy? This is true. Lose little, win big. Yes. That's sweet. That means you're gonna be in the Discord chat early. It's awesome, man. Yeah, I mean it's interesting. So SPY pre-market, what are we seeing on SPY pre-market? Yeah, it's down a little bit. I mean, so economic calendar for today, what are we looking at? FX. We've got it's Thursday, so we've got unemployment numbers today. Hey, come here, little dude. Come say hi. Oh, it's a big baby. Oh, say hello, everybody. Cool. You play with that. All right. Little dude in the house. Conference board BCI country. What is this? Got a left hand mouse here. What is this? Business cycle indicators. Business cycle indicators. Okay. You're saying use this as a general inclination as to the direction of the economy. Um, List of leading indicators. Okay. Weekly hours, weekly initial claims of unemployment insurance. So unemployment is on here. New orders, consumer goods. That makes sense. New orders, building permits, stock prices, credit index, interest spread, average consumer expectations for business conditions. Okay, so we've got yeah, so initial jobless claims is what I watch week after week, right? So I'm watching the initial jobless claims and the 4 week average. Those are the numbers that I'm looking at. Continuing is gonna ebb and flow as businesses open and close. And we're also heading into summer, so there'll be some seasonal work that comes too. So for me, it's the initial jobless that I'm watching. Consensus for today is 1.8 million. So 1.8 million. Um, I wish my audio was working because I would pull you in here to have a conversation, Rita, but I can't because my audio is busted again. Oh, did you drop? Huh? What did you drop? What? Hold on, maybe you want this. I'm gonna give you a little unicorn to play with. Oh, you want to play with that? Hmm? Yeah. So initial jobless, what we're looking for is 1.8 million. The 4 week, where is it? 4 week jobless was 2.6 million last week. European retail sales had a 3% deviation. So retail sales were better than expected month over month in April. Um, Instead of being down 22%, I don't know that we drop here. What opened? We had casinos open, hotels open, but that wasn't in May. That wasn't this past week, right? Or was it? No, that was this week. That was this week. Hotels and casinos open back up. Yikes! When the Deputy Attorney General of the United States is saying, "Yeah, I signed it, but I didn't read it." Yikes! Scary, scary, scary. Very scary stuff. All right. What else do we have? What else do we have moving around today? Ring Central. Oh no, is Genus giving up its pre-market gains? Oh no, it's giving up its pre-market gains. Everybody out, everybody out. No, don't everybody get it. Do whatever you want. Price target on ACRX. I was looking at options on it for 250 and they're dirt cheap. You're gonna have to take out a pretty long position on it. I'm looking at a Q4 play on it. So I'm looking at December and my 12-month forecast on it, because that seems to be the safest way to give my opinion on these things, is to give it a 12-month forecast and let people make their decisions on the day to day. My 12-month on this is actually probably around $8.59. So Brandon, folks, and I agree that it's probably closer to the 8.59. The news about the national stockpile is a big game changer. When they came out with that on top of the DoD. And I mean, guys, I'm not completely out to lunch here, because look at where the analysts have this thing over 12 months, right? Like the analysts have this, maybe not as high as I have on it, but they still have it an average forecast of 625 on this thing. It's $1.29 right now. People talk about beating the S&P, right? All you got to do is beat the S&P. Hey, why you throw that? We'll get. All right. People talk about beating the S&P, and that's the big aim for the stock, the sound stock investor out there. As long as you beat the S&P, you did well. Okay. Well, S&P performance for the year. So 1 year. Where is it? Where did it open the year? What's the gains that SPY has seen? Oh, I closed Koifin. I'm looking for Koifin and I couldn't find it. Koifin. Okay, so SPY 1 year. There's the open. So that's the 275 line. So we're at 312 right now. So SPY's up 13%. Okay, SPY's up 13%. Let's say, hypothetically, ACRX. SPY's up 13%. Let's use the average on this, not my estimate. Okay, so let's use the average of all of these analysts on ACRX for the next 12 months. Okay, let's say that ACRX goes to $6. Okay, all you got to do to beat the SPY is look at probably somewhere between 12 to 15 this year, depending on what it does in the last quarter, whether we go up or down. But let's say 12. Can we agree 12 is a reasonable number that we're looking at here for the SPY's performance over the year? If you can beat 12% on your portfolio this year, you did all right. Everybody can agree to that. Good. I'm looking at all the quiet in chat. I'm going to assume that those are general yeses. So 12% is the aim. If you were to just do this, you're gonna it's $1.29. It's $1.29. It 400%. You'll beat the SPY by a little bit at the very least. You'll beat the SPY by a little bit. You know what I mean? You'll definitely beat it by at least a little bit. So that's what I'm getting at, guys. And a lot of people give me a lot of flack. So my portfolio is there for you guys to look at any time. I'm going to keep this updated. I'm going to try to learn how to use the tool a little bit better, but the portfolio will always be there for you guys to look at. Now, I know you guys on Twitch can see that, but everybody else can't, so I'll put it in again. My portfolio is always there for you to watch, and I get a lot of questions throughout the day of, okay, what are you holding? What are you holding right now? And if you go to my portfolio, people are looking at this and going, what is this thing? What is this thing? What in the world are you doing? Yeah, you could make more for sure. But again, it's not how much more we can make. It's the target was let's beat 12. Let's beat the SPY. Okay. Ideally, you'd want to beat the SPY and inflation. So let's say 15%. So you just want to grow your portfolio by 15% this year. How are you going to do it? And for me, my strategy is I sent a benchmark for myself at the start of the year. My account started with $3,000 in January. My target for year end is 50,000. That's the direction I want to take is towards that 50,000 mark. So if I can accomplish that by the end of the year, that's fine. So when people look at this portfolio and they look at it and go, what in the world is this? Like, what are these things that you've got in here? You have to understand that I am trying to find the stocks that show me the potential to offer that kind of growth. So what I'm looking to accomplish is, right, I broke it down month over month to be a little bit more reasonable of like, okay, what kind of growth do I need to see on a monthly basis in order to get that target, right? So let's do this. Let's go here. Go into my sheets. I don't know why that's so huge. Okay, so like, okay, I want to hit 50K. I want to, I'm starting with 3K. So what I need to see to get from there to there is, this is a, okay, so I need a 16, call it a 1700% increase, right? So month over month, what I need to do is take this, divide it by 12. Control Z. This divided by 12. So I need to see 1.5% gains on my portfolio month over month in order to achieve this consistently. Okay. So if you do this, like we've got the 3,000 to start, right? So let's make this January. And we'll go from January all the way over to December. Start with a 3K, equal this times 1.4. Just drag that sucker over. Whoa, that's too much. I was like, what the heck? Why does that go up so much? That's not right. There, that's right. So even at just a 1.4% portfolio growth month over month, what I'll see is I'll finish the year probably closer to that 87,000 mark. Now, As of June, we're in June right now. The actual is we started with 3, and in June we are currently sitting at. I'm not going to do book value. I'll do current market value on where the portfolio stands. Just so I'm being transparent, there you guys go. You should be able to see my portfolio. This is my actual holdings. Here's my actual current account value. It's 22,564. So let's take that down. 22,564 is not play money. This is real money. 22,564. Put it in here, right? Okay. So we're a little bit ahead of schedule on this. As of right now, ooh, looks like there was a problem. I agree. There is a problem. So what we're seeing as of right now is this divided by this, right? So right now, I am currently at a 93% increase. So I've already beaten SPY by a little bit. But let's just take that modest 1.4. 1.4% increase over the rest of the year. Let's say I can maintain what my initial growth strategy was for the rest of the year. It won't be enough. Why does it spike so much? Oh, because this is still 1.4. Durr. I was like, why is that number still so high? Didn't fix it. Okay, so let's delete these. No, I don't want to do that. I want to delete these. This. I'm not doing something right here. I need a 16% gain. My math is wrong here somewhere in a big way. No, this is 16 times. So I need more than. Anybody help me out here. That'd be great. To get to 50K, that's the goal. Compounding interest. I don't want to do compounding interest calculations. So let's just say, if I wanted to say, if we go up by the gap between 50 and 30, let's go 60. Yeah, so I've got to divide. So let's do 6,000, 9,000, 12,000, 15,000, 18,000. This is not going to get me there. So I need to do, if I need to go up 1,600%, what I need to do is 1,670, right? 1,670 divided by 12. That's what I need to be doing, is 1,670 divided by 12. What? Stop that. 1,670 divided by 12. Why is this giving me stop being like this. 1,600 12 equals to this divided by this. Okay, so it needs to be 133% growth. It's not 12, it's 12 through. Man, I know. What I'll do is I'll scrap this. Compound. Compound interest. Okay. Perfect. 3K, initial investment, monthly contribution. Not needed. Length and time of years, 1 year. estimated interest rate, compound frequency, monthly. So what happens if I make this interest rate must be below? This is not going to let me do it, is it? Nope. Oh well. It won't let me do it because the number's too dang high. I got to find another calculator. Dag nabbit. Look at this. Like, making this too complicated. Okay, so what we're going to do is, I'm going to make this simpler. Get over fewer periods. Let's do Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, right? Well, like Q4 is 50K. Started with 3K. Okay, so from there to there, halfway would be 25K. So I want to be at 25K somewhere in between these two. So let's make this 16,000 by the end of Q2. Let's make this 35,000, 32,000 by the end of Q3. Okay. So it actually gets easier for me as we move closer to the end of the year if I set it up this way. So here's the projections. 3,000 in Q1 is what I started with. Q2, I would like to see 16,000 by the end of Q2. Q3, if I'm ending Q3 with 32 grand in the portfolio, I'm doing well. So this goes from being over 400% increase to being only a 200% increase, 100% increase. Thank you, Yura. So my monthly percentage gain has to be 26%. So quarterly, that would be 26 times 4, right? So quarterly, I need to see 100% increase. What's up? What's up? No, it's not 4 times. That's wrong. Okay. It's compounding, so it's more than that. Okay. Well, yeah, clearly I can see that. It has to be more than that because I'm looking at 400%. So from Q1 to Q2, my goal, I guess, is the 400%. From Q2 to Q3, it just has to double. And then from Q3 to Q4, it doesn't even have to double. So I'm actually getting easier on myself as we go. Now Q1 we finished. Heading into Q2, I mean, right now we're in Q2 and the portfolio is 22,574. So the next benchmark I am heading for is I have to, by the time Q2 finishes in end of July, right? January, February, March, no, April, May, June. End of June, I'd like this number to be up here. Oh, wait, that's the end of Q3. By the end of here, I want this number. So I'm already past my target for Q2. I'm already past my target for Q2. By the end of Q3, I want to be here. So this is what I'm considering is like, how do I bridge this gap between this and this? I have to make a play that's going to take this 22, do the original calculation. Okay. So let's go January again. Thousand equal to this times 1.264172. Drag that over. That's only taking me to 39.5. So let's bring this up to 27. Okay, that seems to get us there. So 1.3, 30% gains month over month is what needs to happen here. Oh, it should be January. So it would have got there. Okay. It would have got there. Okay. Um, so 30% gain month over month is what I have to see on the portfolio. Right now, portfolio as of June is 22. So I'm way ahead of the game on this. If I continue at a rate of 1.3, so if I just make 30% a month on the portfolio, um, by the end of the year, I should have a decent year. Right, right. So based off of the performance of the portfolio to date, let's say I don't have as huge gains as I've had up until right now, right? Let's say it just doesn't grow as quickly. If all I can get, if all I can get is 30%, I mean, you understand what I'm saying though with my performance today has been pretty accurate and bang on. And so for me, what I'm doing is I'm looking at this and going, okay, well, if I want to reach this number of, 100K, I don't. I really just want to reach this number of 53,000. So that's my goal. Is that 50,000 to go from 3,000 to 50,000? I would be pretty happy about. So I'm beating the spy at least. Let's say at this point. Okay, we can all agree. Uh, um, But what I'm looking to do is so okay, what plays do I know I have coming up? I know I've got GME coming up in June. I know I have ACRX coming in with announcements in July, August. But ACRX is actually going to be a Q4 play. I know that I've got. I probably couldn't do this year over year. It's a lot easier to grow percentage wise anyway from your first year because you're taking a relatively small amount of money and making it into a relatively big amount of money, right? Once you hit that 100,000 mark, the pace of this is going to slow. I'm not going to continue to see 30% gains on my plays. Just the strategy changes, right? That's a tipping point for me. Is that 100,000 mark? So, but for this year, let's just stick to this year of like. I know GameStop in June is going to be big. I know that GameStop in December is going to be big for me. I know that in August, Waiter is going to be big for me. And I'm expecting to see. Let's ballpark this. Let's take GameStop end of June. Depending on their earnings, I could see this going up to 6. So say another 2,400 here. Waiter, I could see going back up to 6. It's at 2. If I could get in around 250, that'd be another 4. Look at another 4K out of that. GME ACRX, see ACRX going up to 9. So 8 by 9 would be 72. Is that right? Damn. Is that right? 6,800 shares, average of $1.63 times this. Same amount of shares, but I see it going up to $9. Okay. So just on the plays that I see here, it would be another 6-4, another 70 grand on top of this. So I would come in at close to the 100K mark, probably around the 90,000, but I'll definitely beat this 50,000 target. So for me, guys, that's where I see the advantage in these long equity plays. And people look at the portfolio and say, well, this is gross. And I agree that for most looking at this, it would be gross. But what I see are the benchmarks. So for me, I'm seeing a 6, 7, 8, 900% return on ACRX coming over the next 8 months. I see GameStop maybe not doubling, but a 30% return at least. MFA is one that I see producing probably 500% returns. I see MBRX producing over the next 12 months probably a 200-300% return. I see Marker over the next 12 months 200% return. IMMP 200% return. These guys are memes, so I mean, I'm not even taking those into account. Like 0.04% of my portfolio, this counts for nothing. And iPix is on. iPix stands to be a huge winner if it gets something, and if it doesn't get anything, oh well. But that's where the strength of this portfolio lies. Is it's to the downside. The risk actually isn't that huge to the downside, but the potential gains are massive to the upside. So when people look at the portfolio and say, "Well, that looks gross," okay, I'm okay with that because the number that I see at the end of the year is this, right? This is my target. If I can do this, that would be phenomenal. That would be absolutely phenomenal. If I can break that 100K, like that would be. What is the plan at the end of the year? The plan at the end of the year is to reevaluate life and to consider what I want to do. No, I think having this as a start is a good position, but I have to start in October, November. I'm going to have a much clearer understanding of where the direction of this portfolio is headed. And at that point, I can make a determination of what my next tipping point is. Where do I look to move? Do I have to seriously learn how to position myself properly, how to manage a portfolio? I'll definitely take a look at it. I'm not huge on technicals, but I will take a look at it. But I have to educate myself on how to properly manage positions. And I know Martini is absolutely right when she tells me this, and my position in ACRX is not correct. But I need to start looking at higher level stocks. Where right now I'm looking at positions that are in that two, three, $4 range, right? I can start looking at some bigger players that are in that $10, $12, $15 range. So that's going to allow me to move a little bit more with what I'm doing. So I will still probably always do a little bit of this just because I see the potential in it. But ultimately, until you hit that million mark, I have a lot of learning curves to do. But right now, that's getting ahead of myself. Right now, this is where I live. I live here. Here's the target. If I'm over 11 grand this month, I'm doing a good job. Technically, I've already hit the benchmark for the next 4 months. So, yeah, 2 seconds, guys. I'll be right back. What's eating the microphone? Uh, Illumina. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Position management. That's true. Also have sector risk. I do biofarm. So because I trade almost exclusively in the long equity bio, there is risk. There is inherent risk. I have had losses this year for sure. Let's pull up HOU. I don't know if it still exists. Took a massive hit on HOU. Um, that's true. As far as it being the biggest bull market ever seen for bio, everyone's a genius. Which is why I think my big plan as I head into next year is actually to learn how to be the biggest bio bear. And I know short trading is extremely difficult, but there's a lot of air to be let out of the tires on this. Also, what I found with bio trades largely on news, and there is a constant cycle of news with conferences and biomedical conferences and approvals. So you could still continue to trade the FDA calendar and the conference circuit for the bio industry and do pretty well. RTX, but what I found with RTX is I don't know what they did in the last update, but it's not good. Um, I exited DMPI for a 40% gain. Yeah, and that's my goal too as well, Martini. Right now, my portfolio is about testing a strategy, improving it. So, I want the 2 years of proof behind the portfolio and what I do to show that it is a viable strategy. And you're absolutely right. Right now, with the FDA regulations pulled the way that they are, um, I can play pretty fast and loose with the biosector. Um, but there will always be opportunity, I guess is the best way to put it. It's just being able to see that move transition to it. So this is a drop in the bucket. 10,000 people have been arrested. That's a drop in the bucket. And it's not protesters, that's people vandalizing stuff and burning stuff and where else. He is tweeting up a storm. This is a straw man fallacy right here. Oh, I'm sorry, Illumina. I got sucked into Twitter again. Illumina. It's a big beast. Kind of all over the place. Buy, hold. Nobody's looking to sell this thing, but pre-market 355. Let's see what's in its pipeline. So again, guys, what I love about each sector is while it may be in that specific sector, there is a bunch of variations within the sector, right? Where the difference between Lilly and this is they're the same size. They are the same size as far as companies go, but Lilly is more on the development of pharmaceuticals, whereas this is about the tools and hardware, right? So consider it like hardware and software and tech, right? Um, Lilly would be the software side of things. Illumina is the hardware side of things. Currently, I trade in the software side of bio. I'm trading in the pipeline and the medications. I'm not trading in the ventilators, the masks, the gloves, the medical devices, machines. I haven't done any deep dive into that analysis on it. So, while I love bio, this is a section of bio that I haven't looked at, and it is a big beast for sure. What this requires, though, and the reason why I've shied away from it is not only do you have to have a clear understanding, not only do you have to have a clear understanding of the bio sector, you have to have a clear understanding of the tech sector going along with it and pairing the two. And that's a lot of extra due diligence when I could just be reading medical reports on upcoming bio stocks. Um, so for me, I don't personally like this just because of where it sits in the bio industry. Now, um, my three rules of bio are trade a company that knows what they're doing, trade a company that has the data, trade a company that has positive outlook based off that data. This company has clearly been around for a while. They have a wide list of products, kits, testing, instruments. Um, are they producing new stuff? Probably. Let's see, learn areas of interest. DNA sequencing, RNA sequencing is going to be huge moving forward. Genome editing, that's kind of lurking down at the bottom down there, but genome editing is going to be big. Genetic sequencing is going to be big. They have an education branch. Gattaca is real and profitable. Engineer your baby today. Yeah, so I mean, it's a big beast. They have a whole education sector as well. Um, there are no upcoming events. That's kind of cool. I could subscribe right to their upcoming events feed. That's kind of cool. So yeah, from a cursory glance at it, I kind of like it. Kind of like what it does, what it is, what it looks like. Normally I would hop off here, but the family's up and running, and my wife is sleeping in because she had a rough night with kittens and whatnot. So until she's awake, I can keep going here. So let's keep looking at what's happening. All this to say, guys, it looks like I'll be on track for a decent year. You should be able to make that target of that 5K target. Oh yeah, check that vid. Let's go back up here. You guys won't be able to hear it though. I don't think. Hirana profits. Actually, I can't watch this on stream because I am partnered on YouTube, and I think that would cause it to demonetize. Yeah, no, I can't watch it, Europe, because it's yeah. I will definitely watch it off stream. So his idea is that the market can continue to expand on the basis of the market has expanded. Um, Maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe I'll go grab a coffee and watch that video. You guys are ready for your day anyway. You guys have your due diligence locked down. I've got my list to watch. The biggest find that I was excited about is this one here, Digital Ally. I will definitely be taking a closer look at that. But otherwise, guys, uh, I can't watch YouTube videos live while I'm streaming to YouTube if I want to monetize the video. So, um, but guys, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys swinging through. If you're not already followed or subscribed wherever you're watching this, please do that every morning. I'll be there. Audio to text program is called Quick. Uh, Cap Quick IO. This is Quick. I upload the videos. It gives me subtitles. Um, Not at all. Have an amazing day, guys. I am going to hop out, grab some coffee, and watch a video and learn a little bit. Shout out to Yor for the video. Shout out to all of you guys for swinging through. Take it easy. I will see you tomorrow, 4:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be back at it. For those of you that missed the beginning, pre-run is soon to follow.